gonna show you today how we're gonna trim up our bone-in turkey breast, remove the wishbone, and season it before we put that on the grill. One of the first things I like to do, some people like to leave this on, but I take this off first. Right where your natural separation is right here. And so what you're gonna wanna do is take your scissors or a sharp knife, whatever you have, and you're gonna come right on through to cut that loose. Come around to the other side. You can see where the separation is. Follow right on through. Now that you can see that that's all out of the way, this breast is going to sit flat just the way that we want to do it. All right. Next thing's next. I don't really like to use this because we have our accurate temp probes that we have on our Pit Boss. We have all this excess skin from the neck. All I'm going to do is just follow it around. You can leave as much of this skin on as if you'd like, but I think removing it even with the breast is going to yield a more evenly cooked breast. Trim off any excess. Okay, wishbone. There's a wishbone inside of your turkey breast. It's going to come in here. So what you're going to want to do is that you're going to want to feel where your wishbone is, which is right here. The purpose why we're going to be removing our wishbone is that once you remove the wishbone and your breast is rested and it's cooked, it's going to be so much easier to carve off the bone, and we'll definitely make that example here in a little bit. So I just follow on down both sides of the wishbone, and then you just want to cut directly in there. Once you have your slice right on the inside of both sides, you can stick your finger in there, your hand, and you can see where your wishbone connects to the breastbone. This can be a bit challenging if it's your first time, but you can physically feel where your bone connects to the breastbone. Normally I would just snip right there. Once you snip right there, you pulls right on out. Make a wish, folks. Now that we're at this stage in our turkey breast, we're going to be roasting these proteins today. So I'm going to base it with a little bit of oil, and I'm going to be putting an herb mixture of sage, garlic, thyme, and parsley. Salt and pepper, of course. Again, always try to keep one of your hands clean so you can handle your spice rubs and your oils and things of that such to avoid cross-contamination. So using with a little bit of salt. A little bit of pepper. And we got your fresh chopped garlic. Can be a little challenging sometimes to get it on your breast, but I would just spoon a little bit on there. It's okay if some of it falls off on the board. The amount of garlic that you use on the outside of your bird is totally up to you. Just keep in mind that garlic will burn under high temperatures, and so again, avoiding going over 350 degrees for X amount of time will keep your garlic from burning. I probably use somewhere around about a tablespoon of garlic. It's nothing over the top, but it's going to be something that's really going to give some aromatics. And then here we go with our fresh herbs. This particular herb mixture, it's equal parts chopped sage, fresh picked thyme, and parsley. We got our breasts all nice and seasoned up like so. And we're going to be cooking internally to about 155 to 157 degrees on the turkey. Why not 165 like everybody says? Most important thing to remember when you're removing large cuts of meat off your grill is that there's a thing called carryover cooking. So after you pull it off the grill and it continues to rest, it will continue to rise in temperature anywhere between 4 and 6 degrees, depending on the size of your piece of protein. Another really important thing to mention, the Pit Boss is set at 350 degrees. Typically when you smoke, you're going to be smoking between 180 all the way up to about 275 degrees. We're really not trying to impart a ton of smoke flavor on here, but it will have a slight effect on it. Okay, probe placement. On turkey breast that's bone in, you want to insert it into a deep part of the protein, but you don't want to be right up against the bone. You're going to want to be off about 1/2 inch. Reason being, the bone, the protein sitting closest to the bone is of its lowest temperature. And so if you're trying to reach an internal temperature of 155 degrees, you're going to want to be off each bone about 1 inch. All right, folks, magic time is here. About 158 degrees on our internal temperature of our turkey. It's time to pull it. There you go. Time for a rest. Going back, you remember that wishbone thing we were talking about? Find your sternum, your center of your breast, and you can go all the way down, and you don't even have to worry about hitting that pesky thing anymore. Trim down both sides of your breastbone. And all you do is just open it up. Right where you left off, that's where you're going to want to stick your knife and just carve it right off of that carcass, like so. Oh yeah, there's one breast. Second. There we go. Dude, that is some really awesome looking turkey. Look at that. Sage, thyme, and parsley over your turkey breast. Is ready to serve.